Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. It's now or never. Ningxiu frantically roused the iron hand armor and charged towards Qi Bai without a second thought. Qi Bai's head was bleeding profusely, his vision darkened, and he was on the verge of passing out. The next moment, the iron hand armor cut through the air. Youthful hanging whip. Dozens of long whips flailed wildly like a swarm of serpents, lashing madly. Qi Bai was flung about in midair, unable to touch the ground. Whenever a whip struck his body, it would cause a ripple of golden light, unable to penetrate his protective spell. Is it a spell, a divine skill, or perhaps a protective magical treasure? Ningxiu's eyes turned red, unable to suppress his agitation. This was a counterattack he had painstakingly devised. If Qi Bai recovered his breath, the suspense in this battle would completely dissipate. However, the youthful hanging whip, which was usually very effective against Foundation establishment cultivators, failed to break through Qi Bai's defenses. Sun Lingtong urgently transmitted her voice. Little Zhuo, Qi Bai is not a body cultivator. He specializes in controlling ghostly spirits. His talent is insight into the netherworld, so it's unlikely his protective means are spells or divine skills. I can see that the weakest point of the golden light is at the wound on his head, which is currently healing rapidly. The strongest part of the golden light is 3 inches below his navel, at his essence C and lower elixir field. Use the strongest method. Ningxiu's eyes gleamed sharply, and he replied, Understood. He pushed the iron hand armor to its maximum power. Spirit stones were consumed wildly, transforming into immense spiritual power, which infused 2 palm-sized talismans, complex with patterns of wind and thunder. The talismans each burst forth with the power of wind and thunder, interweaving along the internal array patterns of the iron hand armor, merging to form a new force, wind-thunder move. Greenish electric light surrounded the iron hand armor. In an instant, the iron hand armor's speed soared to the extreme, reaching Qi Bai in the blink of an eye. Iron armor cold. The defensive formation within the iron hand armor was pushed to the utmost, humming with force. The array skillfully combined the forces of metal and water elements, cooperating perfectly, emitting freezing cold while carrying metallic properties, enveloping the iron hand armor entirely, maximizing its defense and offense. Azure Dragon strikes the skies. The armor plates on the back, shoulders, elbows, and wrists of the iron hand armor flipped open, revealing hidden explosive talismans. The talismans ignited completely, glowing with dazzling white light, fully boosting Ningxiu's strike, pulling his attack to the limit in an instant. The black robe, disguised as the youthful guest, was torn apart, revealing the true form of the iron hand armor, like a silver dragon, breaking through the sky, carrying blinding white light, cutting through all darkness. Fists like rain of arrows, legs like storm. Punches and kicks intertwined, forming a terrifying tide of attacks, completely enveloping Qi Bai. Fists and kicks landed fiercely on the golden light shield, causing it to splinter into fragments of light. The golden light shield gradually cracked, rapidly becoming insubstantial, fading. The defensive power of the golden light quickly weakened, unable to offset the force of the punches and kicks, causing Qi Bai inside to suffer the attacks. A punch knocked his head askew, twisting his neck to the limit. A knee strike slammed into Qi Bai's waist, bending him like a shrimp, his eyes bulging as he spat out a mouthful of blood. Another punch landed on Qi Bai's jaw, causing him to clench his teeth violently, nearly biting off his tongue. Qi Bai jerked his head back, being struck higher into the air. But in the next moment, a flash of azure lightning, the silver-white agile body appeared abruptly above Qi Bai's head. Ningxiu clasped his hands tightly, forming fists, raised them above his shoulders, then drove the iron hand armor with all his might, diving towards Qi Bai like a meteor. The golden light protecting Qi Bai's body had been weakened to near transparency, and blood still streamed from the wound on his head, the place where the otherworldly persimmon core had struck, also the weakest point of the golden light shield. Ningxiu's gaze was as sharp as a knife, locking onto the enemy's weakest point. A full-force strike, Ningxiu's fist slammed down like a meteor chasing the moon, its force so strong that the silver-white fist showed a fiery red hue from the friction with the air. At the critical moment of life and death, Qi Bai finally awakened from his strong instinct to survive. Meng Kui, otherworldly persimmon core. Chi Bai's heart shook, cold to the core. Since he used the otherworldly persimmon core, he must have already used the mountain gaze divine skill. Why? As a true disciple of the soul-devouring sect, sent to fire Persimmon Mountain, Chi Bai naturally came prepared. He was aware of Meng Kui's signature divine skill mountain gaze and the otherworldly persimmon core. But Chi Bai did not understand. Why did Meng Kui suddenly use this divine skill, and especially in Fire Persimmon Immortal City? He is the city lord of the Immortal City. Doesn't he fear any mistakes that might cause the citizens to riot and kill each other? There must have been some situation I'm not aware of that prompted Meng Kui to make such a move. For a moment, Chi Bai felt a sense of grievance. It was his first time entering the city, merely trying to subdue 3 fellow disciples, to establish his footing before slowly proceeding to investigate the soul storage. He did not expect such bad luck, being hit by the mountain gaze divine skill as soon as he arrived. Fortunes misled me, causing me to make constant mistakes. Why didn't I just kill Sun Lingtong? There was more than one path to subdue Han Ming. I shouldn't have chased them all this way. These 2 foundation establishment cultivators are indeed troublesome, but I didn't need to make such a grand scene. According to Chi Bai's original plan, he intended to lie low and act when the opportunity arose. Why did I frequently use spells? Spells are greatly weakened in the Immortal City, completely counterproductive. I should have swiftly killed these 2. Using my talent wouldn't matter, but I chose to release ghosts and ghost generals to torture and kill them, wasting too much time. I should have used my strongest means to quickly kill the 2, decisively ending it, avoiding prolonged trouble. I wasted too many opportunities in the fight. They have too many underground bases in the Immortal City. I couldn't kill them in a short time. I should have retreated at the right moment. Sun Lingtong bore my means. Only a golden core can dispel them. I should have left them alone, waiting for the right moment to chase them down. Wouldn't that be better? The most accursed is this youthful guest. Layer upon layer of traps, forcing me to exhaust myself against the Immortal City Great Array, making me use all my strength. If not for this, Meng Kui might not have thrown the persimmon core at me. Hit by the persimmon core, Chi Bai became completely alert. Various thoughts flashed through his mind rapidly between the lightning and thunder. As he looked up, he saw Ning Zhu's all-out strike. Going to die. Chi Bai's hair stood on end in horror. I must absolutely not let him hit the wound on my head. However, he had no time to use a stronger defensive measure. He couldn't even manage to use his protective magical treasure. Magic artifact, Ghost Fog Veil. In desperation, he moved his divine sense, pulling a veil from his storage waist belt. This was a magic artifact he often used during the Chi refinement realm and foundation establishment, allowing him to cover himself in ghost fog, disguising as a ghost in some eerie and terrifying places. The ghost fog veil had greatly aided him, enabling him to successfully get close to many ghostly spirits, capturing them. The ghost fog veil accompanied him during his arduous early days, gradually accumulating step by step, eventually becoming a true disciple of the soul-devouring sect. Once he advanced to the golden core, the frequency of using this trusty magic artifact rapidly declined, becoming less and less frequent. Chi Bai kept it in his storage waist belt more as a memento. Unexpectedly, at this moment of life and death, the only magic artifact he could quickly use was this one. Bang! Ning Zhu's all-out strike pierced through the ghost fog, heavily impacting Chi Bai's chest. At that moment, the golden light shield around Chi Bai's body could no longer sustain, shattering into countless fragments, glimmering in the high sky before dissipating into nothingness. Chi Bai's ribs shattered into 4 or 5 pieces, his chest caved in, and his lungs and other internal organs suffered heavy blows, almost shattering into pieces. He fell like a meteor, crashing through a house, hitting the ground, causing a tremor. Immediately, the house collapsed, dust and smoke rose, burying Chi Bai. He's not dead. Sun Lingtong had been observing the battlefield, disregarding the blood tears that had long flowed from her eyes. Ning Zhu's heart sank, gritting his teeth. He gathered his momentum once more and dove into the dust cloud. The ghost fog veil had shattered, but precisely because of its cover, Ning Zhu's attack landed on Chi Bai's chest instead of his head, indirectly saving Chi Bai's life. As Ning Zhu approached to kill, Chi Bai had more time to act than before. He took out a magical treasure, soul-stirring drum. The drum head was pallid, tanned from human skin, faintly transparent, emitting a faint glow in the dark. The drum rim was carved from black jade, exuding a chilling aura. The drumstick was made of grayish-yellow adult finger bones, pieced together segment by segment. Chi Bai shook the soul-stirring drum. Dong, dong, dong. The crisp drum beats resonated in Ning Zhuo's and Sun Lingtang's hearts, fiercely shaking their souls. Already gravely injured, Sun Lingtang immediately bled from her 7 orifices upon hearing the drum beats, her eyes losing light, unable to operate her Lingtang, forcing her to stop. Ning Zhuo felt the world swaying in his vision, his steps staggering, nearly falling to the ground. This interruption halted his recharged attack. "Little Zhuo!" Sun Lingtang's urgent cry reached Ning Zhuo's ears. Years of tacit understanding instantly conveyed Sun Lingtang's message to Ning Zhuo. This was their last chance. They must seize the moment to eliminate Chi Bai, or else, once Chi Bai overcame this crucial breath, they would face defeat. Ning Zhuo was almost out of resources. The mechanism artifacts he had accumulated over a dozen years were mostly used up, leaving only what wouldn't stand a chance in this battle. Only one remained, martial fighting ape. Ning Zhuo half knelt on the ground, releasing the mechanism ape. To prepare for this battle, he retained the core mechanism parts, replacing whatever parts he could, transforming the martial fighting ape's form drastically. Compared to its previous appearance, there was almost no similarity. The ape bore a heart seal, with a staff head inserted on its body. Ning Zhuo flicked his arm, shooting mana strings from his 10 fingers, linking them to the crucial parts of the martial fighting ape. Under triple command, the martial fighting ape charged towards Chi Bai. Chi Bai's eyes were wide with fury, shaking the soul-stirring drum frantically while summoning the treasure seal. Divine summoning technique, Bullhead Ghost Soldier. The ghostly figure of the Bullhead Ghost Soldier appeared, landing with a thunderous crash, joining the battlefield. With the head of a bull and the body of a man, it stood over 10 feet tall, lowering its head like a segment of a city wall, charging at the martial fighting ape. Ning Zhuo hurriedly controlled the mechanical monkey, barely dodging. Just as they passed by the Bullhead Ghost Soldier, it suddenly reached back and grabbed the tail of the martial fighting ape. Its agility was starkly incongruent with its massive frame. Ning Zhuo couldn't retract the monkey's tail in time. Whoosh! In the next moment, the mechanical monkey was flung away by the Bullhead Ghost Soldier with immense force. The powerful throw stirred up a gale, instantly clearing the dust from the collapsed houses from earlier. Chi Bai slowly stood up, hiding behind the Bullhead Ghost Soldier. He stared at Ning Zhuo and Sun Lingtang with most of his gaze focused on the iron hand armor. "Mechanical puppet, cowardly vermin!" Chi Bai's eyes were filled with deep hatred. With each breath, his injuries healed a bit more. By the time he finished speaking, he had largely recovered from his severe injuries, now only lightly wounded. He had recovered. The most critical breath, he had finally managed to take it. "I was so close to defeat." The intense fear of narrowly escaping death surged through him, making his heart pound faster than ever before. Mixed feelings of anger, hatred, relief, and more culminated in a grim sneer on Chi Bai's face. "Haha, well done, well done. 2 Foundation establishment stage mice almost took my life. You performed admirably, truly remarkable, yet what a pity. Now, after earning my praise, die for me." In the next moment, Chi Bai and the Bullhead Ghost Soldier split up, attacking from 2 directions. "No chance left, little Zhuo. You go, I'll hold them off," Sun Lingtang urgently communicated. "Just one misstep, damn it." Ning Zhuo clenched his fists, teeth gritted, heart churning with turbulent emotions. Chi Bai was overwhelmingly powerful, obviously in a different league. Ning Zhuo had the advantage of fighting in the Immortal City, his home turf, with the Immortal City Great Array significantly weakening external Golden Core cultivators. At the battle's onset, Ning Zhuo deliberately turned it into a chase, using numerous underground bases to buy time and wear down Chi Bai's strength. Though the traps exploded successfully, their effectiveness in actual combat was poor. If it were a Foundation establishment stage, they'd have perished long ago. Even an ordinary Golden Core would be battered and humiliated. But Chi Bai's strength remained mostly intact, not even breaking his golden light barrier. Seeing this, Ning Zhuo realized that even exhausting the remaining underground bases wouldn't much effect. He decisively switched to ground combat. He faced Chi Bai head-on, giving it his all, nearly depleting over a decade's worth of mechanism artifacts, managing only to hold the line and maintain a stalemate. This was also because Chi Bai, captivated by the fate of the place, wanted to capture Sun and Ning alive, torturing them for his amusement. Chi Bai hadn't even fully exerted his combat strength. Seeing the dire situation, Ning Zhuo had no choice but to blow up the Immortal array, triggering its passive defenses. Most golden core cultivators would have already been suppressed by now. But Chi Bai, showcasing immense strength, single-handedly contended with the Immortal City Great Array, wearing down the array patterns. This, however, prompted Meng Qi to intervene. The appearance of the Forefather Peach essence aligned with Ning Zhuo's expectations. That strike truly turned the tide of the battle for the first time. Chi Bai was severely injured, losing his senses. Ning Zhuo's thrashing death whip struck him, yet failed to break through the golden light barrier. Only when he pushed the iron hand armor to its limits did the protective golden light start to fade. However, once Chi Bai regained consciousness, Ning Zhuo had very little time left. No matter how hard he tried, Chi Bai's endless magic artifacts and treasures continually delayed him, allowing Chi Bai to recover. When Chi Bai summoned the ghostly bullhead ghost soldier, he re-established his foothold. Within just a few breaths, his severe injuries turned to light ones. Chi Bai's healing capabilities were astounding, truly worthy of being a true disciple of the soul-devouring sect, capable of handling everything alone with his immense combat strength. A sense of despair slowly crept into the hearts of Sun Ning. Sun Lingtong, with unprecedented severity, communicated, "I have Chi Bai's mark on me I can't escape. I'll stay and hold them off. Little Zhuo, give me all your mechanism artifacts. Go." "No." Ning Zhuo firmly refused, controlling the martial fighting ape to fend off the bullhead ghost soldier. He raised his left hand, a thunder talisman appearing in his palm. Boom! Palm thunder shot out, striking Chi Bai, who had approached nearby. Chi Bai let the palm thunder hit him, a sinister smile on his face. In the next moment, he transformed into a cloud of ghostly mist, enveloping Ning Zhuo and Sun Lingtong. Both groaned painfully, feeling it deep in their bones. The ghostly mist felt like a deadly poison, penetrating the mechanisms and their bodies, fiercely corroding their souls. Ning Zhuo was heavily affected, unable to control the martial fighting ape. The ape's movements became sluggish, immediately swept away by the bullhead ghost soldier. The bullhead ghost soldier howled, charging into the ghostly mist. Its millstone-sized fist struck heavily on the iron hand armor. The iron hand armor was like a cannonball, flying backward and knocking down over a dozen houses before embedding into a wall. The iron hand armor was severely damaged, with Ning Zhuo's forearm almost completely exposed. A large piece of the armor's chest was missing, and the helmet was full of cracks. It would not be surprising if it shattered completely in the next second. "Boss!" Ning Zhuo didn't care to check his own injuries and immediately searched for Sun Lingtong. Sun Lingtong lay in the ruins of the house ahead, struggling desperately, but his body was weak, pinned down by bricks and a half-broken beam, unable to free himself. Ning Zhuo activated the iron hand armor and hurried over. He bent down, ready to clear the debris and drag Sun Lingtong out. But the next moment, Sun Lingtong's face suddenly twisted into a snarl, his fingers like knives slipping through the large gaps in the armor, piercing into Ning Zhuo's abdomen. "Bo boss." Ning Zhuo was caught off guard, suffering a heavy blow. Sun Lingtong's expression kept changing, sometimes ferocious, sometimes filled with sorrow and anger. "I am possessed by a ghost, go, quickly go," he shouted. Chi Bai stood on the bullhead ghost soldier's shoulder, looking down at the two from above. "How does it feel to be betrayed by a brother?" "Youthful guest, you are good at mechanical techniques, and I am good at ghost control technique. Your brother is already under my control. Hurry and kill him, or you will be killed by him, ha ha ha." Ning Zhuo's heart trembled wildly. The next moment, the poisonous ghost fog rose again, enveloping Ning Zhuo and Sun Lingtong. Excruciating pain struck again. Chi Bai took out the soul-stirring drum and beat it continuously. This caused Ning Zhuo and Sun Lingtong to bleed from their 7 orifices, making things worse, leaving them completely powerless to resist. "Bull Soldier Lord, go and take their lives," Chi Bai called softly. The bullhead ghost soldier roared and rushed forward like a meteor, with an astonishing momentum. The millstone-sized fist smashed down fiercely. This blow would surely kill both Ning and Sun instantly. Strong, too strong. When Chi Bai stabilized his footing, his mind clear, he showed extremely excellent tactical qualities. The bullhead ghost soldier pressed on from the front, the poisonous ghost fog targeted the iron hand armor. The hidden ghost possession left Ningxiu in a dilemma. His verbal threats were not meant to torment further, but served as a cover to execute his plans smoothly, creating an opportunity for the bullhead ghost soldier to deliver a fatal blow. The enormous body of the bullhead ghost soldier cast a shadow of death, completely engulfing Sun and Ning. They could barely stand, let alone resist or dodge. In Ningxiu's perception, time suddenly seemed to slow down. This strong premonition of death was not the first time he had felt it. Once in a black market alley fight, he was too young, made a grave mistake in battle, got trapped, and almost got killed before he could react. It was Sun Lingtong who appeared in a flash, in a desperate moment, using his own body to block the blade for Ningxiu. "Boss!" Ningxiu had cried out in horror, his face full of panic. Sun Lingtong waved his hand and pulled out the dagger stuck in his chest, blood instantly soaking his clothes. "It's nothing, boss." Ningxiu felt immense guilt and self-blame. If it weren't for his carelessness, Sun Lingtong wouldn't have been so severely injured. Sun Lingtong tapped his fingers to stop the bleeding. "Heh, little Xiu, don't be sad. You call me boss, so what's it to block a knife for a brother?" Now, Sun Lingtong's hand knife was deeply embedded in Ningxiu's abdomen. Sun Lingtong's eyes bulged with anger, his bleeding eyes filled with desperation, wishing he could kill himself immediately. The giant fist struck down, the wind howling, a terrifying killing intent suffocating. Ningxiu raised his head, glaring fiercely at the bullhead ghost soldier. Bang! The bullhead ghost soldier's attack was blocked. Suddenly, a figure stood like a mountain in front of Ningxiu. Ningxiu's eyes widened gradually, looking at the figure in front of him, his heart crying out, "Yuan Dasheng." Mechanical monkey that intercepted the bullhead ghost soldier stood tall, its eyes radiating green light in all directions, a powerful spiritual nature emanating from it, exuding an inviolable majesty. It was exactly, though betrayed, the will remained unbending, the righteous bones unyielding, the spirit unbroken. After facing life and death, the spiritual nature persisted, returning only to act upon righteousness. Yuan Dasheng turned slightly, suddenly speaking in a low, powerful voice. "My lord, I am here." As if traversing a lifetime, crossing life and death, at the critical moment, Yuan Dasheng was reborn, fully regaining his spiritual nature to lend a hand. "Yuan Dasheng can talk." Ningxiu was stunned. At this moment, he felt there was no longer any barrier between him and Yuan Dasheng. His control over it was even clearer and more detailed than before. Undoubtedly, this was a qualitative change. Ningxiu suddenly understood. It was his effort to save Sun Lingtong at all costs that greatly aligned with Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature. "But how can it suddenly speak?" Yuan Dasheng spoke again. "My lord, what are your orders?" Ningxiu suppressed his doubts and pointed at Bai. "Kill him." "At your orders." Yuan Dasheng charged forward. The bullhead ghost soldier roared, blocking its way. Boom! Yuan Dasheng directly flipped the bullhead ghost soldier, his momentum violent beyond measure. What is with this mechanical puppet? Bai felt things going south, retreating hastily. A trail of poisonous ghost fog sprayed, trying to interfere with Yuan Dasheng. Yuan Dasheng pressed on, ignoring the ghost fog. "Continue the charge." Bai frantically shook the soul-stirring drum. Yuan Dasheng showed no reaction. Bai couldn't help but feel his heart racing, his mouth dry, as he used his insight into the netherworld talent. He discovered that Yuan Dasheng had no soul. How can it have such wisdom without a soul? Bai couldn't understand. Yuan Dasheng closed in. Bai frantically used many magic artifacts and treasures, striking Yuan Dasheng. Yuan Dasheng's entire body surged with immense blood qi. It was the blood oil bottle that Ningxiu had previously installed. It displayed exquisite martial arts, either defending or deflecting, stubbornly resisting all sorts of magic artifacts and treasures, and fought its way right up to Bai. With relentless attacks, it completely disregarded its own existence. "The problem is, it's just a mechanical puppet. What life does it have to care about?" Bai was beaten once again, but this time was different from before. He was in full possession of his faculties, and although his combat power was suppressed, he could still exert his current maximum capabilities. However, Yuan Dasheng could tear apart a half-step golden core level runaway fire snake with his bare hands when he was alive. Now, his mechanical body was even stronger than during his lifetime, and he had abundant blood qi to fully unleash his demon-infused bloodline technique. Yuan Dasheng possessed golden core battle strength, and he was far less suppressed by the array than Qi Bai. Qi Bai was retreating step by step, utterly defeated. Damn it, my golden robe is shattered, unable to provide me any protection. How is this mechanical puppet fiercer than those golden core body cultivators? The rhythm of the battle was firmly controlled by Yuan Dasheng. The advantage gradually turned into a winning position. Qi Bai spat blood and was gravely injured once again. He desperately wanted to shake off Yuan Dasheng, but he couldn't. The Immortal City Great Array had already been activated, prohibiting the use of any escape void talismans. Qi Bai's magic artifacts, treasures, and various spells were mostly aimed at spirits. This was highly awkward when used against Yuan Dasheng. "Brother, is this the mechanical monkey you made?" Sun Lingtong watched, dumbfounded. Ningzhu himself was also in disbelief. It seems. Yes. He hadn't expected that Yuan Dasheng's real combat power would be so high. Ningzhu thought to himself. It seems this time, it wasn't just waking up its spiritual nature, but reaching a new, higher level. Yuan Dasheng's martial skills are more nimble and natural, as if he had never died. Yuan Dasheng swung his fist and flattened Qi Bai's forehead. He latched onto Qi Bai's body, twisted, and broke Qi Bai's left arm backward. Yuan Dasheng's monkey tail entwined, causing Qi Bai to lose his balance. He extended his leg in a horizontal strike, directly crushing Qi Bai's knee. Qi Bai's magic artifacts and treasures struck Yuan Dasheng, riddling him with wounds. Both sides clashed fiercely. But the issue was, Qi Bai had a flesh and blood body, whereas Yuan Dasheng was just a mechanical shell. In such an exchange, Qi Bai was at a significant disadvantage. He wanted to distance himself. He tried every means possible, but all efforts ended in failure. Qi Bai specialized in controlling ghost generals, while he himself used spells, magic artifacts, and other means to attack from a distance. This was his primary way of fighting. He wasn't a body cultivator, and his main defense depended on his golden robe. But after being depleted by Ningzhu multiple times, it was already shattered. In combat with Sun Ning, Qi Bai had no weaknesses. But facing Yuan Dasheng, his weaknesses immediately became apparent. "If this continues, I'll die." Qi Bai never expected the situation to take such a sharp turn for the worse. At this moment, he was forced to the edge of the cliff, with no choice but to fight to the death. Infernal fire engulfed his body. He burned with pale blue infernal fire all over, the flames chillingly cold, capable of incinerating everything to ash. Qi Bai frantically activated his insight into the netherworld and cast the Yellow Springs spell upon himself. The Yellow Springs sizzled under the burn of the infernal fire, producing a large amount of steam, temporarily protecting Qi Bai. But Yuan Dasheng was not so fortunate, his entire body materials rapidly deteriorating under the infernal fire. "This is bad," Sun Lingtong exclaimed in alarm, highly anxious. Yuan Dasheng's combat power was significantly affected, rapidly declining. If Qi Bai got a chance to catch his breath, the previous scenario would surely repeat. Yuan Dasheng tilted his head back and let out a long howl. His entire skeletal frame suddenly shone, emitting brilliant golden light. Protected by the golden light, Yuan Dasheng was almost reduced to a skeleton by the infernal fire. But he still moved freely. Immortal aptitude, righteous golden firmness. This was the first time Ningzhu had seen Yuan Dasheng use his immortal aptitude. Why can Yuan Dasheng still use his immortal aptitude in this new mechanical body? Ningzhu's doubts grew. The terrifying infernal fire could not consume Yuan Dasheng. He rushed again to Qi Bai, their faces practically touching. Yuan Dasheng boldly used his martial arts' ultimate move. He ferociously thrust forward. Striking a critical point, Qi Bai was deeply horrified, his heart filled with icy dread. Wait. Sunbreaking hand. Yuan Dasheng had painstakingly practiced countless times when he was alive, crushing wooden balls, stone balls, iron balls. Now a human ball. What would a golden core amount to? Even an immortal would have to hold their forehead in agony. Moreover, Qi Bai wasn't a body cultivator. Qi Bai's eyes almost bulged out of their sockets, his face turned deathly pale, and he let out a prolonged howl. Arg. If he were like Han Ming, practicing the immortal corpse rebirth technique and the like, it would be another story. But now, pain, excruciating pain, unbearable pain. He passed out from the sheer agony. "Don't kill him," Sun Lingtong shouted. No reminder was needed. Ningxiu had already ordered the martial fighting ape Dasheng to stop. Yuan Dasheng, being a martial arts master, was able to withdraw and hold back instantly. Little Zhuo used the talisman I gave you, Sun Lingtong continued. Ningxiu nodded. Don't worry, boss, I'm familiar with these. Ningxiu took out several talismans, rushed to Qi Bai, and placed them over his 3 danshan and other vital spots. The talismans activated, emitting continuous light, sealing Qi Bai completely. Hurry up and go, Sun Lingtong urged before his eyes darkened and he collapsed unconscious. At the top of Fire Persimmon Mountain, Meng Qiu's face twitched slightly as he took in the results of Qi Bai and Ning Sun's battle. The outcome of this battle surprised him somewhat. When he saw Ningxiu placing the talismans and not killing Qi Bai on the spot, his brows furrowed deeply. Immediately, he murmured something and sent a transmission out. Kai Dun and Fei Si had been on standby. Kai Dun immediately flew into the air, rushing to the site of Qi Bai's defeat. Ningxiu's retreat was very timely. By the time Kai Dun landed, the place was already in ruins, deserted. Sigh, too late. Kai Dun quickly used a spell, attempting to find some clues. How could Ningxiu have left obvious clues? Seeing Kai Dun in action, Zhuge Xuanji, hundreds of miles away, felt a stirring. The city lord's mansion is starting to move. Meng Qiu's divine skill operation is about to end. Zhuge Xuanji immediately realized this. When the entire array was activated, the city lord's mansion, under Meng Qiu's orders, had retracted all its extensions and remained inactive, merely watching from the sidelines. Zhuge Xuanji knew. This was because the city lord's mansion and Meng Qiu's fates were intertwined, especially Fei Si and Kai Dun, who were Meng Qiu's city lord's right-hand men, tightly connected by fate. If the 2 of them were drawn into the array, Meng Qiu would not sit still and would also be implicated. Meng Qiu's divine skill operation ended much faster this time than I expected. In past battles, he could sustain it for a long time. This time, he restrained himself considerably because of the citizens of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Perhaps he was also considering the Magma Fairy Palace. After all, the Magma Fairy Palace's performance under the Demon Beast attacks was far below expectations. It was also far weaker than I anticipated. Zhuge Xuanji stopped watching the battle and began to move again. He probed forward, approaching Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Whenever the wind alarm bell sounded, he would stop and retreat a distance, ensuring his fate wasn't affected. Just as Zhuge Xuanji suspected, the intangible array was rapidly contracting. Furthermore, this contraction was speeding up. Ningxiu stowed away the martial fighting ape, Dasheng, and brought Sun Lingtong and Qi Bai to an underground base. For over a decade, he and Sun Lingtong had secretly searched for gaps in the Immortal City, secretly building over 20 underground bases. Many of the bases had never been used since their construction. On most days, Ningxiu only used one specific underground base often, the one his mother had left for him, which had once held Han Ming. This underground base was small, and Ningxiu hadn't visited it since its construction. The primary feature was a healing array, built with quality materials, with no expense spared, resulting in excellent healing effects. At the start of the battle with Qi Bai, Ningxiu had teleported repeatedly, exposing over a dozen underground bases, exhausting the strong enemy as much as possible. This healing-focused underground base wasn't worth exposing. Such exposure would be a pure gift, and Ningxiu wasn't foolish. So, when Sun Lingtong woke up again, he weakly opened his eyes and found himself in the array. Countless green light spots merged into his body, vigorously repairing his physical damage. Waking up, Sun Lingtong shouted, "Little Zhuo, help me up, I need to disarm Qi Bai." Ningxiu immediately deactivated the healing array and helped Sun Lingtong out. Sun Lingtong was very weak. In the recent battle, his body and soul were heavily wounded, with terrifying injuries. If he hadn't taken the late autumn life-saving pill, he might have already been dead. Unable to walk on his own, Sun Lingtong, supported by Ningxiu, breathed heavily, his face pale, and soon his forehead was covered in cold sweat. "Boss, can you manage?" Ningxiu asked with concern. Sun Lingtong extended his small hand. "Give me a mighty rejuvenation pill." This elixir pill could enable a cultivator to achieve a strong state temporarily, with mana, vigor, and spirit power rapidly recovering, dispelling fatigue. The side effect was that it would later lead to a prolonged period of extreme weakness and lethargy. In fact, Ningzhuo had already taken one during his battle with Qi Bai. At that moment, while controlling the iron hand armor, he unleashed an extreme stance, but failed to hit Qi Bai's fatal point, landing on his chest instead. Afterward, at Sun Lingtong's reminder, he fought on, reigniting his fighting spirit and attacked Qi Bai in the ruined house. During that time, Ningzhuo had secretly taken a mighty rejuvenation pill within the iron hand armor. The mighty rejuvenation pill could be taken only once within a day. Taking more had no effect. For the weak, taking it recklessly could lead to sudden death. Sun Lingtong had consumed many such pills. When he lost contact with his master and was rescued by Ningzhuo, he was only in the Qi refinement realm. It was difficult to make a living in the vast fire persimmon Immortal city, and at times of danger, he had no choice but to rely on the mighty rejuvenation pill to cope with critical crises. Having taken it many times, Sun Lingtong had gained plenty of experience. At this moment, after consuming a pill, his nostrils flared, his pale cheeks reddened again, his energy surged, and his eyes regained their sparkle. His hair stood on end, as if he had been electrocuted. He lifted his pants and looked inside, nodding in satisfaction. This elixir pill is top grade. The top grade mighty rejuvenation pill made Sun Lingtong's entire body rise energetically. The mid-grade one didn't have the same effect. So far, Sun Lingtong hadn't tried the supreme grade mighty rejuvenation pill. Supreme elixir pills were extremely rare, often possessing miraculous effects. Sun Lingtong lifted his head proudly and marched towards Qi Bai with vigor. Qi Bai, covered in talismans and placed within the array, was unconscious with no signs of waking. His essence, qi, and spirit seas were all firmly suppressed by the talismans. Sun Lingtong extended his tiny hand and smacked Qi Bai's face gently. Qi Bai remained motionless, but the slapped part of his cheek reddened and swelled visibly. Sun Lingtong snorted in anger, sat cross-legged, and placed his hands together, bowing his head, reciting an intricate incantation softly. After a while, he slowly opened his eyes. His eyeballs and pupils were shrouded in a spiritual glow. Smoke rose from his hands, forming white, cloud-like wisps. Tiny silver lights like countless diamonds twinkled within the smoke, dazzling brightly. Sun Lingtong continued chanting, his voice getting softer, almost silent. A few breaths later, his hands vanished, replaced by clouds connected to his wrists. Bukung's sect spell, sea-watching cloud capturing hand. The white cloud touched Qi Bai's body, quickly probing into the upper Danshan divine sea. The cloud swirled, endlessly surging. Soon the cloud pulled back. Unlike before, it was now bulging, obviously wrapped around something. Sun Lingtong controlled the cloud, bringing it to the empty ground beside him, and then it dispersed slowly. A seal was immediately revealed. It was a square-shaped jade seal, its body square like ink jade, cold and sinister. The seal's surface bore a human race skull, crystal clear like transparent water, embedding a spirit communication bead in its teeth. Within the bead, blue netherworld flame constantly burned. The bottom of the seal bore an inscription of 4 characters, Netherworld Ghost God, Netherworld Ghost God Seal. This was not a magic artifact, but a magical treasure. With it, Qi Bai had invoked the avatars of 2 ghost gods, the Inspector General and the Bullhead Ghost Soldier. This was Qi Bai's most prized treasure, the core of his overall strength, which Sun Lingtong first stole. This jade seal, as long as you use yin attribute mana, can be refined. Even if we aren't ghost cultivators, it would be a handy weapon if we ever venture into the netherworld in the future. Seal it first. Sun Lingtong took out talismans and placed them on the front and back of the magical treasure. He once again used the white smoke, letting it enter Qi Bai's divine sea. Soon the smoke returned, extracting a drum. It was the soul-stirring drum that had given Ning and Sun a hard time in battle. Like the Netherworld Ghost God Seal, it too was a magical treasure. Sun Lingtong, using talismans, easily sealed it. After all, it wasn't a spiritual treasure and lacked spiritual nature. The upper Danshan divine sea had no more treasures. Yet, Sun Lingtong still extracted a lot of divine sense, storing it all in a jade slip. He then used the sea-watching cloud capturing hand to probe Qi Bai's Qi Sea. The Qi Sea held no substantial treasures, but contained a number of spell talisman seeds. When a cultivator practiced a certain spell to a certain extent, it formed spell talisman seeds. Further development on this path could lead to divine skills. However, the difficulty and cost were much higher than using talent. Moreover, the resulting divine skills were relatively common. Talent was acknowledged as the fertile soil for divine skills. The resulting divine skills were either extremely powerful or unique. Using white smoke, Sun Lingtong extracted some shadows of the talisman seeds. He took out talisman papers, and as the white smoke brought the shadows onto the paper, it immediately turned into a talisman. All top-grade ones can sell for money. Sun Lingtong nodded in satisfaction. Ning Zhu added, better keep some in stock for ourselves first. In the recent battle, he almost exhausted his mechanism artifacts accumulated over 10 years, feeling very uneasy. Finally, Sun Lingtong used the white smoke to extract a large amount of mana from Qi Bai, storing it in the spirit storage ball. The white smoke officially entered the Essence C lower Danshan. Sun Lingtong explored for a while, suddenly trembling in excitement, exclaiming with joy, "It's actually this item, what a treasure, what a treasure." Ning Zhu was immediately intrigued. Sun Lingtong had previously taken out the Netherworld Ghost God seal and the soul-stirring drum, yet showed no such look of surprise. Could it be that the treasure in Qi Bai's Essence C was even more valuable than the previous two magic artifacts? Under Ning Zhu's watchful eyes, Sun Lingtong retracted the cloud of smoke and brought out a precious plant. It was a cluster of small grass. The grass was about 3 feet high. Its stalk was sturdy, covered in bark-like patterns, and the root's color at the bottom was white, gradually deepening to black at the leaves. The leaves could be divided into 2 parts. The lower part was withered and curled, like ancient yellowed scrolls weathered by time. The upper part was full of life, with clear veins and slightly glowing edges, like a glimmer of hope in the darkness. Without needing Sun Lingtong to say anything, Ning Zhu exclaimed in recognition, "Ghost Gate Escape Grass." This world was divided into the living world and the netherworld. The living world was where Ning Zhu resided, with the sun rising and setting, full of vitality. The netherworld was littered with ghosts, perpetually shrouded in gloom and death. The exit and entrance between the netherworld and the living world were called Ghost Gate Pass. Ghost Gate passes were one way. One could only enter the netherworld from the living world, or vice versa. Only near the Ghost Gate passes leading from the netherworld to the living world could Ghost Gate Escape grass possibly grow. This grass's roots were entrenched deep in the soil of the netherworld, absorbing deathly energy, while the leaves stretched into the living world, teeming with life. It was born from death, possessing an extremely strong recovery ability. Even mortals on the verge of death could quickly recover just by smelling its fragrance. Ning Zhu recalled the earlier battle situation. Qi Bai had merely caught his breath and quickly recovered, his severe injuries turning to light ones. It was likely due to using this precious plant. Sun Lingtong sighed. Every Ghost Gate Escape grass is a nascent soul-level treasure. Qi Bai's luck must have been good to obtain it. His cultivation was of the yin attribute. The Ghost Gate Escape grass was indeed suitable for him. Ning Zhu counted and discovered that the cluster of Ghost Gate Escape grass had 7 blades. "We've struck it rich," Ning Zhu succinctly remarked. The market price of each blade of grass surpassed all the mechanism artifacts he had expended in battle. And yet the grass blades were hardly ever available for purchase. The disparities between cultivators were vast, growing even wider at higher levels, and so it was with precious plants. The mechanism artifacts Ning Zhu had lost in battle at most contained some foundation establishment materials. But the Ghost Gate Escape grass was a nascent soul-level treasure, vital for life and healing, which greatly elevated its market price. "This is good news. Elder Sun, you no longer need to worry about your physical injuries," Ning Zhu said with a smile. Sun Lingtong nodded slightly. "Unfortunately, my mana isn't of the yin attribute. To utilize it well, it's best to set up an array." Every cultivation resource varied in method and effectiveness for different cultivators. After carefully placing the escape grass, Sun Ning started searching for more treasures. Soon, Sun Lingtong extracted a set of miniature clothes from Qi Bai's Qi Si. The clothes were palm-sized for an adult, woven from golden threads. The exquisite craftsmanship indicated they were at least made by a grandmaster-level tailor. It was this set of golden-threaded clothes that produced the protective golden light, rendering Ning Zhu's youthful guest hanging whip ineffective. Now, the golden-threaded clothes were damaged beyond use. Repairing them would be quite troublesome, requiring high proficiency in tailoring as a cultivation technique. When Sun Lingtong failed to find more treasures with the cloud, He unceremoniously extracted a large portion of Qi Bai's essence blood and infused it into his blood gourd. As a result, Qi Bai's essence, energy, and spirit dissipated significantly, greatly reducing his threat. The Netherworld Ghost God Seal, Soul-Stirring Drum, Ghost Gate Escape Grass, and the golden-threaded clothes were Qi Bai's prized possessions. Among them, 3 were magical treasure level, and the Ghost Gate Escape Grass was a nascent soul-level treasure plant. Magical treasure level items were eligible to be nurtured within a cultivator's dantian, like the Buddha Heart Demon Seal in Ningzhu's Divine Sea. Qi Bai, a true disciple of a major demon sect, possessed 3 magical treasures and a nascent soul-level treasure plant, quite a considerable fortune. It was worth noting that ordinary golden core cultivators typically used magic artifacts, and even if they possessed magical treasures, it was usually just one. Qi Bai, bearing the title of Blind Judge, wasn't an ordinary golden core, and he had 3 magical treasures. The nascent soul-level treasure plant was priceless, coveted even by nascent soul cultivators. If not for being in Fire Persimmon Immortal City, and not for Meng Qi's Mountain Gaze divine skills and your monkey mechanism, defeating Qi Bai would have been nearly impossible. Sun Lingtong sighed. The battle against Qi Bai had been exceedingly difficult and risky, but the rewards were equally substantial. The 3 magical treasures and the treasure plant were the highlights. Qi Bai's clothes and accessories, many of which were magic artifacts like his storage waist belt and bracelet, were equally valuable. All of these items had already been stripped off by Ningzhu beforehand. As for the treasured items hidden in the 3 Cs, Ningzhu hadn't yet acquired the skills to retrieve them. The exact contents of the storage waist belt were something both looked forward to discovering. With all the treasures from the 3 Cs stripped away, Sun Lingtong successfully disarmed Qi Bai. Sun Lingtong, greatly exhausted, saw his previously rosy face turn pale again, and his forcibly maintained essence, energy, and spirit plummeted once more. Qi Bai is certain to die. If he doesn't, he'll seek revenge on us. But it's best if we don't kill him ourselves. He is a true disciple and a future high-ranking member of the soul-devouring sect. If we kill him, we'll acquire the soul seal and be marked by the soul-devouring sect. If the soul-devouring sect seeks revenge, we can't withstand it. Sun Lingtong sighed, his brows furrowing as he racked his brains on how to deal with Qi Bai. But Ningzhu said, I might have a solution. Oh, what solution? Get the Magma Fairy Palace to kill Qi Bai. Sun Lingtong, curious. What plan do you have? Ningzhu did not disclose anything immediately. I'm not sure if it will work yet. I need to make an attempt first. Elder, forgive me. Huh! Sun Lingtong was puzzled, not understanding what Ningzhu meant. At the same time, Fire Persimmon Immortal City was now in lockdown. Kai Dun walked out of the City Lord's mansion, disappointed. He and Fei Si had just investigated the various records of the formation, but found nothing they were looking for. Fei Si then said, the formation at the battlefield was first tampered with using Bukong sect methods by Sun Lingtong. Afterwards, Qi Bai erased the array patterns entirely. It's no surprise there are no detailed records of the battle. Kai Dun nodded. Although the two disliked each other and did not get along, they could cooperate closely when the City Lord issued an order. 2 nascent soul-level demon cultivators from the soul-devouring sect with hawk noses and triangular eyes had already been arrested by the City Lord's mansion. Sun Lingtong, Han Ming, and the youthful guest were all wanted, with great urgency. Sun Lingtong's black market was finished, and Han Ming's whereabouts were unknown. Sun Lingtong, Fei Si sighed inwardly, feeling regretful. Over the past few years, Sun Lingtong had secretly funneled many benefits to him. Fei Si had a particular fondness for people like Sun Lingtong. It wasn't just about the benefits. Sun Lingtong had genuinely brought order to the black market, saving Fei Si quite a bit of trouble. Kai Dun said, previously, Han Ming disappeared, likely hiding in some underground base. Through today's observation, I realized that there are so many gaps in the great array of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Fei Si pondered. A thorough city search would be meaningless. I suspect there are quite a few such underground bases. We should report to the City Lord and request his permission to re-establish the great array of the Immortal City, striving to minimize the gaps in the formations. Kai Dun thought for a moment and agreed. Both arrived at the mountaintop to seek an audience with the City Lord. The City Lord was discussing the Immortal City Great Array with Zhuge Xuanji. Zhuge Xuanji said, When our royal family initially constructed the Immortal City Great Array here, we accommodated the Magma Fairy Palace by leaving a lot of space, fearing the formation's operation might interfere with it. Meng Qi said. The Magma Fairy Palace has now emerged. If the royal family reconstructs the Immortal City formation, Zhu Xuanji shook his head. I didn't come to discuss this with you. City Lord Meng Qi, if you have any opinions, feel free to report them. My primary purpose here is to inform you to actively cooperate with me. Next, I will enter the Immortal Palace myself. Ning family clan land. In the cultivation's secret room, the Ning family ancestor meditated within a massive ice block, adjusting his breath. In his arms, a pot-shaped magical treasure emitted a layer of immaculate white light. The ice gradually melted away until it was entirely gone. The Ning family ancestor slowly opened his eyes and exhaled a breath of stale air before reaching up to touch his forehead. A depression remained on his head, though it was no longer as pronounced as before. Anger and hatred simmered in the heart of the Ning family ancestor. To him, this had been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He had already entered the Immortal Palace and awaited the perfect chance as the side hall was breached, ready to go in when an unexpected attack from a peach core of external karma fell from the sky, grievously injuring him. The Ning family ancestor was well aware of Meng Qi's mountain gaze divine skill and the peach core of external karma. After suffering severe injuries from the peach core, the Ning family ancestor could only flee, leaving the Magma Fairy Palace behind. Thus, the excellent opportunity was entirely shattered by Meng Qi. Meng Qi is truly overbearing. The Magma Fairy Palace was supposed to be an ownerless treasure, left for the fated, giving everyone an equal chance. My Ning family was already a latecomer. This time, it was a rare stroke of luck that allowed us to enter the side hall, and even that Meng Qi couldn't tolerate. He had to intervene and sabotage it. In his heart, the Magma Fairy Palace must already be within his grasp. He won't let anybody else even touch it. Rubbing the ice heart jade pot, the Ning family ancestor gradually calmed down. The ice heart jade pot was the Ning family's heirloom treasure. Carved meticulously from a single piece of translucent cold jade, the pot was crystal clear, like a serene ice lake, emitting a faint, cold light. Touching the pot, the Ning family ancestor felt not the biting chill but a soothing, jade-like warmth. The Ning family ancestor contemplated the current situation. Meng Qi is at the nascent soul stage, and he is the city lord of Fire Persimmon Immortal City. He justifiably and righteously uses his power to seal the volcano. If I want to enter the Immortal Palace, I must do so disguised. But if I disguise myself, I lose my righteous identity and become an easy target for Meng Qi's shameless attacks. Sigh, looking at it this way, our greatest hope still lies in the competition within the Qi refinement realm. But can Ning Xiaohui truly contend with Meng Chong in the Qi refinement competition? The Ning family ancestor felt a heavy weight in his heart at the thought of Meng Chong's innate immortal aptitude. He couldn't help but wonder, had Meng Chong already reached the latter stages? Was he close to the finish line? Touching the dent on his forehead again, the Ning family ancestor's gaze became resolute. It seems I must increase my support for the family's renovation team. After pondering for a moment, the Ning family ancestor promptly gave orders. Ning Xiaohui was the first in the renovation team to hear the good news. Oh. It's a direct order from the ancestor himself, taking out the Ling Frost and Proud Snow understanding law maps, and using 3 bottles of White Snow Spring Sunrise pills, distributing them to the entire renovation team. He will even use the Ice Jade wine from the Ice Heart Jade pot to reward the most outstanding cultivators in the renovation team. Ha ha! Glancing at her hands, Ning Xiaohui pouted, rewarding the most outstanding. They might as well just give it to me directly, such a pointless formality. Since experiencing a life-threatening crisis, Ning Xiaohui's temperament had grown significantly. With her grandmother's help, she had preliminarily mastered the talent Ice Fat Jade Hand. During this process, the power of the Ice Fat Jade Hand completely healed Ning Xiaohui's injuries. As a result, Ning Xiaohui, as a latecomer, surpassed both the Zhou family pair and the Zheng family's Zheng Jian. While the latter 3 were still recovering, Ning Xiaohui had already begun her special training. Ning Zhu returned to the family's base. Along the way, he smiled and nodded to familiar clan members. After disarming Qi Bai and having a brief conversation with Sun Lingtong, Ning Zhuo hurried back in secret. At this critical moment, he needed to return to the public eye quickly to prevent Han Ming from being captured and revealing she had seen Yuan Dasheng's corpse. Officially, it was Ning Zhuo who had obtained Yuan Dasheng's corpse. Although there was no evidence to link Ning Zhuo and the youthful guest, even if Ning Zhuo was discovered, he had various excuses, such as selling it on the black market or that the corpse was simply stolen. However, it would definitely implicate Ning Zhuo's true identity. To deal with a possible investigation, Ning Zhuo couldn't stay in the underground base for too long. In the residence of Ning Zi. "Little Zhuo, you're finally back." Yesterday, the whole city was in chaos with conflicts everywhere. "You didn't get hurt, did you?" Wang Lan hurried over to ask with concern. Ning Zhuo shook his head slightly. "Aunt, you can rest assured. Ever since the assassination attempt, I've been very careful. Besides, the family has assigned guards to protect me. Nothing will happen." That's good, that's good." Wang Lan suddenly sighed. "But while you are safe, your uncle has suffered." The prisoner in the next cell went mad suddenly. Just because of a minor argument, he grabbed your uncle's hair and repeatedly smashed his head into the bars. "Your uncle is seriously injured and urgently needs a good environment to heal. Little Zhuo, go plead with the young clan leader once more, asking him to release your dear uncle." Ning Zhuo's face darkened with sorrow, sighing. "Aunt, I didn't know such a thing had happened. Uncle has indeed suffered greatly this time. But I already pleaded with the young clan leader last time. Pleading again now has very little chance of success. Unless, Aunt, you repay all the cultivation resources you owe me over the years." This, Wang Lan's face immediately changed, her brows furrowing deeply, her expression troubled. A surge of anger burned within her. In her heart, she roared, "That Ning Zioran never gave any cultivation resources at all. The truth is far from this." But she could only roar inwardly. "Little Zhuo, to be honest, your uncle's family has very little savings. They spend a lot daily and have almost no surplus. Asking me to give it all at once is simply impractical." Ning Zhuo interrupted her. "Aunt, I still need to cultivate. Repay part of it first. You've never repaid anything yet." Unwilling to waste more time with Wang Lan, Ning Zhuo tactfully refused and then quickly retreated to his cultivation room. He activated the floating cloud handkerchief, concealing himself within layers of clouds, before bringing out the remains of the martial fighting ape, Dasheng, and the golden blood battle ape mechanism. The former had been reduced to little more than a skeleton after the fierce battle. If not for Yuan Dasheng's display of immortal aptitude, even the skeleton would have been consumed by the ghostly fire. Ning Zhuo inspected the skeleton and found that, although the material remained the same, it had become far more fragile than initially. Is it because it bore the righteous golden firmness? Ning Zhuo's eyes flickered slightly. He had always wondered how Yuan Dasheng managed to exhibit the righteous golden firmness within the martial fighting ape, and planned to consult some relevant texts in the future. As the martial fighting ape, Dasheng was nearly destroyed, Ning Zhuo took out the golden blood battle ape mechanism. The embryonic divine skill, life-hanging thread. Using the same method as before, he extracted Yuan Dasheng's spirituality from the martial fighting ape skeleton and placed it into the golden blood battle ape mechanism. Yuan Dasheng's spirituality has notably changed. The moment he drew it out, Ning Zhuo noticed. Previously, Yuan Dasheng's spirituality had resembled a pink light orb, its surface occasionally forming the image of a young monkey's head. Now, though still a pink orb, its size had more than tripled. The conjured monkey head had matured from a young to an adult shape. The outline of the adult monkey head was more defined, lifelike. Furthermore, when suspended in midair, Yuan Dasheng's spiritual orb was shrouded in a halo. This feature had never been present before. Connecting the dots, Ning Zhuo quickly recalled the relevant entries on spirituality. This halo must be spiritual brilliance. When spirituality overflows to a certain extent, it produces spiritual brilliance. As spirituality continues to grow, spiritual brilliance will intensify, interacting with everything to communicate and discern. So, Yuan Dasheng has reached the wisdom spirit stage, classifying spirituality by its state. The first stage is spiritless, the second is dead spirit, the third is living spirit, the fourth is wisdom spirit, and the fifth is deity spirit. The dead spirit stage branched into 5 phases, as did the living spirit stage. From the lowest to highest within the living spirit stage, spirit star, spirit sensitivity, spirit growth, spirit movement, and spirit vitality. Previously, Yuan Dasheng's full spirituality had reached the spirit movement phase. At this stage, the spirituality was lively, driven by strong emotions. According to Ning Zhu's research, aligning actions with the energetic nature could fully reclaim control. After the spirit movement phase comes the spirit vitality phase. Apparently, Yuan Dasheng has skipped spirit vitality and directly advanced to the first stage of the wisdom spirit stage, spirit wisdom. Living spirit stage is also known as beast spirituality, driven by instinct. Wisdom spirit stage spirituality signifies wisdom, marked by its first major transformation, communication. That's why Yuan Dasheng could speak. The first level of the wisdom spirit stage, spirit wisdom, meant spirituality could now communicate normally with its surroundings. Ning Zhu placed Yuan Dasheng's spirituality into the golden blood battle ape mechanism, but did not rush to communicate, instead storing it in his storage bag. Surrounded by layers of floating clouds, Ning Zhu took out his meditation mat, beginning his daily cultivation. The mirror stand spirit communication technique, level 6. The 5 elements chi regulation art, level 5. The demon-infused bloodline technique, level 5. My cultivation level is still too weak, far too weak. Defeating Qi by this time relied mostly on Meng Qi's peach core and my years of accumulation. When will I be able to defeat strong foes solely with my own cultivation level? Is there any way I can cultivate faster? I need to advance quicker. I must become stronger. Having just survived a deadly battle, Ning Zhu's desire for cultivation was 10 times stronger than before. Meanwhile, in another part of the Ning family clan land, Qi refinement 3rd stage pinnacle ice jade hands. With just these 2 factors, who among Zhou Zhu, Zhou Zeshan, and Zheng Jian can rival me? Ning Xiaohui's face was filled with pride. This was because Zheng Jian and the others lacked strong offensive talents. Ice jade hands were different. Ling Frost, proud snow understanding law maps. Ning Xiaohui unfolded the 2 maps, studying them closely. With my natural affinity for ice jade hands, as long as I master the Ling Frost and proud snow techniques, I will gain wings like a tiger. By then, only Meng Chong could be considered my formidable opponent. The others are of no concern. Magma Fairy Palace, room number 1. Various mechanical parts were piled into a small mountain. A puppet version of Ning Zhu jumped down from the mountain. You are a bit slow, Puppet Ning Xiaohui said, arms crossed, staring at Ning Zhu with a hint of pride. Ning Zhu shrugged. I've been busy improving the mechanical martial fighting ape lately, not in the best shape. Ning Xiaohui, you insist on bringing me along, but are you confident we can make it with just the 2 of us? Ning Xiaohui snorted. The opportunity of the Magma Fairy Palace is right in front of us. Fire Persimmon Immortal City is competing, and our Ning family is temporarily in last place. I asked you to come just because you are a member of the Ning family. You don't need to do anything, just follow me this time. After saying this, Ning Xiaohui turned and walked away. Ning Zhu paused slightly and thought, Ning Xiaohui's attitude is completely different from before. She's so confident. She must have had a major breakthrough or gained a powerful support. Ning Zhu was somewhat curious. Though he appeared reluctant to enter the palace with Ning Xiaohui, he was actually quite pleased. Joining the renovation team was the right choice. The feedback from this action had always been positive. Ning Zhu had been worried about not having a reason to enter the Magma Fairy Palace, but Ning Xiaohui came to him as if serving a pillow to someone sleepy. Regarding Ning Xiaohui's arrangement, Ning Zhu was also happy to follow her and idle away. The first door, Ning Xiaohui and Ning Zhu went up separately to receive their rewards. You take the spirit stone, I need it, Ning Xiaohui instructed. Got it, Ning Zhu obediently complied. Currently, only the 2 of them in the Ning family were at the peak of Qi refinement level 3, and Ning Zhu's true cultivation level had not been exposed. Therefore, among their clan, Ning Xiaohui could only call upon him to participate. After receiving the spirit stone, Ning Zhu handed it directly to Ning Xiaohui. This action made Ning Xiaohui feel satisfied. She nodded and accepted. At least you understand. Ning Zhu chuckled softly. As long as you can take me deeper in, I'm willing to cooperate with you. Watch closely. Ning Xiaohui pushed open the door, but she only pushed it open a tiny crack. That was enough. Then she silently activated her talent. Ice Jade hands. Puppet Ning Xiaohui's hands emitted a white light, spreading a strong, cold qi. The cold chi quickly spread, covering the walls and ceiling of room number 2 through the crack in the door. Only the doorway was spared. Ning Xiaohui pushed the door open and walked in graciously. Ning Zhu followed closely behind, praising her nonstop. Amazing, just amazing. Ning Xiaohui, you really are incredible. What is this spell? Ning Zhu asked deliberately. HMPH, with your knowledge, you'd only understand spells. Ning Xiaohui snorted. Although she liked hearing flattery and compliments, she remained indifferent on the surface, as if doing these things were trivial matters to her. This is my talent, Ice Jade Hands, Ning Xiaohui announced, raising her head slightly. Ice Jade Hands, Ning Zhu exclaimed, widening his eyes and staring at Ning Xiaohui. Your talent can achieve this. Ning Zhu acted extremely shocked. This greatly satisfied Ning Xiaohui. Ning Zhu continued, since you can do this, why didn't you use it earlier? Ning Xiaohui snorted again. For one thing, I hadn't fully mastered it and couldn't use it freely. For another, are you a pig brain? There were outsiders at that time. Why would I expose this card? Ning Zhu nodded repeatedly. I understand now. It has to be you, Xiaohui. You've always been the genius of our generation, excellent since childhood. No wonder you said I just need to follow you. You are truly amazing. With you and our Ning family, we will surely rank among the top and leave the other 3 forces behind. Ning Xiaohui thoroughly enjoyed Ning Zhu's compliments. She specifically brought Ning Zhu along this time to dominate this talented member of the branch family and let the entire renovation team know who the real leader was. Now it seemed the plan was going very smoothly. You are a member of the Ning family. As long as you understand that, it's enough. In the future, just follow me and you will continuously win. By the way, you also have talent, but you need to develop it and first find out what it actually is. I look forward to your future performance. Understood. I will definitely work hard. Ning Zhu followed Ning Xiaohui's words humbly. Ning Xiaohui continued to break through obstacles. She kept using her talent, emitting a rolling cold chi, gradually freezing room number 2, starting from the front to the middle section, then from the middle section spreading to the rear. Ning Xiaohui got so tired that her spirit wavered, and her soul power drastically reduced. After all, this was just a puppet body, not her original body. The transmission through the life-hanging thread incurred significant loss. After all, Ning Xiaohui hadn't yet formed the prototype of related divine skills. Ning Xiaohui was exhausted like a dog, while Ning Zhu leisurely followed behind, relaxed. However, he certainly didn't show any sign of relaxation. He acted very nervous, speaking continuously, sometimes praising Ning Xiaohui greatly, sometimes expressing concerns about the future, and sometimes urging Ning Xiaohui to take a break. Ning Xiaohui coldly rejected the suggestion to rest, because the cold chi emitted by her talent couldn't last long and would soon thaw. So Ning Xiaohui could only do her best. Quickly reaching the second door was the wisest choice. Xiaohui, you're really amazing. Just a few more steps and we can reach the second door and completely pass this stage. Why is it still so far? Ning Xiaohui felt deeply strained, but had to maintain a strong front, gritting her teeth and striving with all her might. Just as she and Ning Zhu were about to succeed, suddenly the door behind opened. The next moment, puppet Meng Chong walked in. He saw Ning Zhu and Ning Xiaohui and was taken aback. It's Meng Chong, Ning Zhu shouted, his voice trembling, showing deep apprehension. Meng Chong, Ning Xiaohui's eyes narrowed. In her mind, Meng Chong was her only enemy and greatest rival, but Meng Chong only glanced at the two from the Ning family, then looked away. Crack, electrical sparks flashed. Meng Chong darted around the walls and ceiling like lightning. You, he spoke, standing before the first door. Too slow. After saying this, Meng Chong dissipated the electrical sparks and appeared at the second door. Ning Xiaohui. Meng Chong's dominance deeply shocked her. She took a deep breath. Meng Chong, cooperation benefits both. You've seen my strength. Let's work together to explore the Immortal Palace. Ning Xiaohui actively extended an invitation, but Meng Chong extended his hand, aimed at her. Just you. Immortal aptitude, frenzied rushing thunder. Spell, a single breath. Under the enhancement of electrical light, the speed of the airflow became extremely fast. Originally a supporting spell, it turned into an offensive one. Too fast. Ning Xiaohui couldn't react in time, getting blasted by the airflow. After crashing into a side wall, she triggered a trap, getting crushed by a heavy mechanical hammer, smashed into pieces. Ning Zhu ran to rescue Ning Xiaohui, But halfway there, he stepped on a trap and fell into darkness, trapped in a pit where he could only stay until his soul power drained. "Too small fry," Meng Chong sneered, turning to claim his reward, then entered the third stage seriously. His battle spirit soared as he entered room number 3, shouting loudly, "I, Meng Chong, have returned. That mechanical monkey, today I will avenge my disgrace. Where is it?" Meng Chong scanned the room but found no sign of the mechanical monkey he had been thinking about day and night. What's going on? Where's that mechanical monkey? Meng Chong felt extremely frustrated, as if punching into cotton. The disappointment was immense. He had trained diligently, significantly improving his strength, only to find his imagined rival was gone. If I continue, will I encounter it again? Meng Chong hoped. Without Yuan Dasheng, the numerous kung fu dolls in room number 3 couldn't withstand Meng Chong at all. After spending some time, Meng Chong knocked down all the mechanical puppets and pushed the door to officially enter the preparation room. This stage seems unique. What is that? He immediately noticed the ranking stone pillar. Magma Fairy Palace. It was Meng Chong's first time entering the preparatory room. The 5 stone pillars ranking list was very conspicuous, especially since it kept slowly rotating. Meng Chong immediately noticed the stone pillars. The dragon turtle fire spirit had been watching him. Seeing Meng Chong enter the preparatory room, its half-open eyelids widened slightly in excitement. The dragon turtle fire spirit was in poor condition. Previously, in resisting the collective attack of the red flame demon beasts, the Magma Fairy Palace had been in a very dangerous situation. The dragon turtle fire spirit personally took action, merging into the Taoist master's mechanical puppet to control it. After a strenuous battle, it managed to turn the tide and eventually killed the golden core-level magma demon ape. Its spiritual nature was greatly depleted, primarily because it didn't match the Taoist master's mechanism artifact at all. Now, there were still many red flame demon beasts besieging the Magma Fairy Palace. The dragon turtle fire spirit had to organize mechanism artifacts to build a defensive line, arrange various repairs, and also manage the trials of the Qi refinement realm disciples. Such a complex and immense workload was a long-term, continuous drain on its spiritual nature. Even so, seeing Meng Chong approach the ranking list, it couldn't help but get excited and sent out key information. In an instant, a flaming whip materialized and whipped at it. The dragon turtle fire spirit retracted its head and dragon claws into its turtle shell, enduring the pain. Meng Chong, reminded, felt a surge of spirit, realizing that this was the preparatory room and there was little danger. He slightly lowered his guard and walked up to the ranking list of the 5 stone pillars. Following the dragon turtle fire spirit's prompt, Meng Chong first touched the stone pillars to obtain the trial disciples mark. Then, he looked up at the ranking list. Qi refinement list, refining essence list, spirit refining list, progression list, and speed pass list. Among the 5 rankings, he was second on the Qi refinement list, progression list, and speed pass list. He wasn't on the refining essence list or the spirit refining list. Unconvinced, Meng Chong thought to himself that he had always strived for first place since childhood. He had immortal aptitude and was a genius among geniuses, meant to be above others and destined to occupy the pinnacle. How could he settle for second place? But when Meng Chong saw the name at the top, he felt relieved. The first place on all 5 lists was the same, entry standard. Only by surpassing this standard can one be admitted into the Magma Fairy Palace. The 3 ancestral masters truly live up to their reputation as cultivating the void-level elites. Each trial is extremely difficult, and even the entry standard is so high. Excellent. This makes the challenge even more exciting. Moreover, being on the ranking list comes with rewards. Really nice. Ha ha ha. Feeling greatly encouraged, Meng Chong studied the preparatory room for a while before stepping through the door to room number 4, Magma Fairy Palace Main Hall. The dragon turtle fire spirit shrank into its turtle shell, trembling from the flaming whipping and rolling its eyes in exasperation at Meng Chong. Even though it had warned him, specifically telling Meng Chong he was the second place. But Meng Chong hadn't thought much of it and still laughed heartily. This gave the dragon turtle fire spirit a sense of exasperation that made it feel like vomiting blood. It had done everything it could, but Meng Chong didn't grasp the hidden subtleties at all. Fine. This flaming whip, it took in vain. Checkpoint 2. After Meng Chong left, Ningzhu swiftly crawled out from a mechanical trap. He first went to the first door, using the Buddha Heart Demon Seal to push it open slightly and peek into the first room. Confirming no one was coming, he then closed the door and summoned the golden blood battle ape Dasheng inside. It wasn't like before. With more participants now, it had become very inconvenient for Ningzhu to enter and exit the Magma Fairy Palace, let alone summon the golden blood battle ape Dasheng inside. The trend was clear. In the future, the risk of Ningzhu summoning the golden blood battle ape Dasheng would only grow higher. A teleportation circle appeared, bringing Yuan Dasheng beside wooden Ningzhu. "Your humble servant greets my lord." The golden blood battle ape Dasheng knelt on one knee before Ningzhu. Ningzhu was very interested in Yuan Dasheng's performance during the wisdom spirit stage, but now was not the time for detailed research. The mechanical body of the golden blood battle ape is much inferior to that of the martial fighting ape. But it is the only thing recognized by the Magma Fairy Palace that can freely enter and exit the palace. Just this alone gives the golden blood battle ape extremely high, irreplaceable value. Ningzhu led Yuan Dasheng through the second checkpoint to the second door. To prevent Meng Chang from still being in room number 3, wooden Ningzhu stayed behind and let Yuan Dasheng push open the door to check the situation first. He found room number 3 in disarray, with the kung fu dolls broken into heaps scattered on the ground. As expected, when Ningzhu entered and saw the scene, he was not surprised. He had anticipated this earlier. Each time Meng Chang had faced setbacks, upon his return, his strength would substantially increase. This is immortal aptitude and destiny. Sighing, Ningzhu led Yuan Dasheng through room number 3 to the third door. Again, it was the golden blood battle ape Dasheng who pushed open the door first. Meng Chang was not there. Ningzhu didn't rush in, but instead had the golden blood battle ape Dasheng retrieve the monitoring mechanism components from a corner. Ningzhu examined them and obtained key information through Yuan Dasheng. Meng Chang's entire process of activity here was revealed to him. First, the ranking stone pillars, then he interacted with various mechanism pedestals and mechanism-making tools, before finally leaving for the next checkpoint. Meng Chang acquired the trial disciple's mark. Strange. He seemed to already know the detailed steps here and didn't attempt much. He just did it directly. Ningzhu passed by the ranking stone pillars. Now, the ranking lists had 2 names again. Last time, it had been Yuan Dasheng on the list. But with Yuan Dasheng being schemed against and permanently turned into Ningzhu's mechanism artifact, the ranking list once had only Ningzhu's name. Deciding on what name to use had taken some thought from Ningzhu. First, he couldn't use names of other people in the Immortal City. Once the City Lord's mansion and other 4 directional powers launched a full investigation, they could easily hunt the person and verify the truths, discovering that the ranking names could be changed, hinting at possible cheating, which was extremely unfavorable to Ningzhu. Secondly, he couldn't use names of dead people, because Yuan Dasheng was removed from the list. This proved that deceased competitors would be eliminated from the list. To keep Ningzhu's name always on the list would create a glaring flaw. Neither names of living people nor dead ones will work, so I can only get creative. This had been Ningzhu's thought. He finally changed the name to Entry Standard. This had many benefits. First, it concealed his identity as a competitor. Second, it corresponded with the trial disciple's mark, mutually testifying. In Ningzhu's assessment, if he could work out the trial disciple's mark, others would likely figure it out too. By then, each trial disciple mark would be his best credibility endorsement. The third benefit allowed for flexibility in his ranking changes. Once someone surpassed the entry standard in the future, they would think, "I met the standard. I've reached the level to become an entry disciple." If the entry standard surpassed others, they'd think, "Oh, the entry standard is flexible and variable." Like how many family assessments only reward the top 10, the Magma Fairy Palace's entry standard also fluctuated based on the trial disciple's status. Ningzhu brushed past the ranking stone pillars. Once again, it was the golden blood battle ape Dasheng who opened the door first and entered room number 4. Through monitoring mechanism components, Ningzhu discovered that after entering the room, Meng Chang paused slightly, then consecutively cast spells, obtaining mechanism components corresponding to each spell. Ningzhu. Strange! Here too, Meng Chang seemed to already know. Without any exploration, he immediately found the answer. Ning Zhuo accelerated with Yuan Dasheng. Meng Chang was absent from room number 5. The monitoring mechanism components showed Meng Chang's fluid and elegant manner while passing the checkpoint. Ning Zhuo scrutinized and confirmed Meng Chang's significant progress. He could now bless his spells with immortal aptitude. This made Ning Zhuo even more solemn. Room 6. Meng Chang laughed heartily. "This is more like it. Frenzied rushing thunder," he shouted, moving like lightning to dodge multiple spell attacks. He used immortal aptitude again, this time on the Embrace Ice technique and his chi. The Embrace Ice technique and his chi fused, forming a straight line of cold chi, which swiftly hit a magic puppet amidst flashing lightning. The magic puppet was instantly frozen. Meng Chang created an opening and seized the chance to break out of the magic puppet's encirclement. However, just as he was about to feel pleased, the golden blood battle ape Dasheng suddenly appeared. "Ah, it's you!" Meng Chang felt a thrill of excitement. The golden blood battle ape Dasheng, engulfed in flames, charged forward to engage in close combat. Meng Chang showed no fear, even feeling excited. "Last time I was burned to death by the flames. This time I have spells to protect myself." Meng Chang cast the Embrace Ice technique and his chi, combined with the dispelling chi ring, enveloping himself in dense cold chi. With the cold chi neutralizing the flames, Meng Chang was no longer afraid of being burned to death. But the next moment, the golden blood battle ape Dasheng's palm struck Meng Chang's chest. Spell. 5 elements chaos chi technique. This was a reward from the 3rd checkpoint of the Taoist path, obtained by Ning Zhuo and now used for the first time in battle against Meng Chang. The effect was terrific. In an instant, the spiritual energy within Meng Chang's body became completely chaotic, turning from orderly to a tangled mess. Meng Chang's body couldn't move, also suffering from backlashes due to interrupted spells like the Embrace Ice technique. The golden blood battle ape Dasheng then struck, lightly tearing off Meng Chang's puppet head. Then, with a strong grasp, the puppet head was instantly crushed. Meng Chang departed with intense reluctance, his soul flying out of the palace and returning to his own body. At the city lord's mansion, he suddenly opened his eyes, still incredulous. What kind of spell is this? It seems to strongly counter the 5 elements chi regulation art. Lost again. It's okay, I gained a lot this time. Meng Chang felt strongly anticipated for the next entry into the palace, filled with fighting spirit. By the way, send the latest information to Fei Si and Grandpa. Let them help me think of faster ways to clear the trials. The sky was already bright, but in one of the courtyards of the Zheng family, darkness still shrouded. Night Star Silken Sky Formation. Once this formation was set up, it created an area where night appeared to reign. This was deliberately restrained. If the formation's true power was unleashed, it wouldn't just cover this courtyard, but an area of several dozen miles. The night sky over the courtyard fluctuated, gradually transforming into a stretch of silk. From the soft light of the night silk, 4 figures gradually appeared, growing larger as they flew out. All 4 were golden core cultivators. They were the ancestors of the Zhou and Zheng families. Earlier, the 4 golden core cultivators had engaged in a bet. 2 golden core cultivators from the Zhou family set up a formation, while 2 from the Zheng family tried to break through it. The stakes were the Zheng family's 9 Yang golden oxbalm and the Zhou family's southern vermilion bird constellation array map. The 4 golden core cultivators landed on the ground. The 2 from the Zheng family stood tall, the corners of their mouths slightly curved up. In contrast, the 2 from the Zhou family looked calm but somewhat gloomy, with Zhou Nanjiang's face still showing a bit of disbelief. Seeing the 2 golden core cultivators from the Zheng family looking over, Zhou Nanjiang sighed. "Brothers from the Zheng family, you have won." Zheng Danlian, one of the golden core cultivators from the Zheng family, responded. "We are humbled. Succeeding in breaking the formation was merely due to our weapon's superiority." These words immediately reminded the 2 golden core cultivators from the Zhou family of the previous battle, making their expressions change once again. Zhou Nanjiang sighed again. "I didn't expect that your noble family had secretly accumulated such a treasure over these years. We have lost without grievance. A bet is a bet. When we return to our clan, I will personally deliver the southern vermilion bird constellation array map to your residence." "Ha ha ha, good." Zheng Xionggu laughed heartily and took out a bottle of elixir pills, immediately tossing it to Zhou Nanjiang. Zheng Xionggu, this is 9 Yang Golden Ox Balm. The future of our families lies in the hands of the younger generation. Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan are both excellent talents. Treating their ailments is urgent. Their foundations must not be overlooked. The 2 golden core cultivators from the Zhou family exchanged a glance. Zhou Nanjiang feigned hesitation and asked, "This is..." Zheng Xionggu cupped his hands. "We have a request. The Zhou family excels with formations. Zhou Nanjiang is especially skilled in deploying them. In our previous encounters, my clan brother and I were deeply impressed. Could we trouble you, Brother Zhou, to personally set up formations for our weapon?" "Oh, this matter." Zhou Nanjiang showed a troubled expression. "Setting up formations is something I can certainly do. But to do so, I would need to refer to the weapon's diagram. What's the difficulty? Just take a look as you need." Zheng Xionggu appeared quite straightforward. Zheng Danlian added, "Years ago, we obtained this mechanical diagram from the Magma Fairy Palace." Despite this, the demeanor of the 2 golden core cultivators from the Zheng family still moved the 2 from the Zhou family deeply. In the recent bet, they lost to a mechanical weapon. The weapon possessed immense power and could change its form through mechanical means, exhibiting entirely different offensive capabilities after transformation. Allowing the Zhou family to see the mechanical diagram would greatly reduce the threat posed by this weapon to the Zhou family. This was advantageous to the Zhou family, so the 2 golden core cultivators nodded in agreement immediately and inquired about the specific timing for the formation setup. Zheng Danlian said, "The weapon is not yet completely forged. The final parts need to be added, requiring immense flame power to melt the critical materials. Only when the weapon was fully forged would it be suitable for incorporating formations." Zheng Xionggu. "Additionally, the final refining stage requires extreme cold power, which is something our clan lacks," Zhou Nanjiang said. "The Ning family, originating from North Wind Country, specializes in ice-based cultivation techniques and should be able to resolve this issue." Zheng Xionggu nodded. "We thought the same." After a round of discussions, the Zheng family clan leader knocked on the door, entered, and greeted them respectfully. "2 elders, our ancestors, there has been a major event in the city these past few days." He took out an invitation. "This is an invitation sent by Zhu Xuanji, the Divine Hunter. He wishes to invite the Golden Core cultivators in the city to explore the Magma Fairy Palace together." Upon hearing the report from the Zheng family clan leader, the 4 Golden Core cultivators showed changed expressions. "Meng Kui, Mountain Gaze, Peach Fate Core, HMPH, our city lord truly shows no regard for civilian lives." Knowing they had been schemed against by Meng Kui, the 4 Golden Core cultivators were in no mood for pleasantries. "As I said before, Meng Kui is one of the Meng family's 4 generals. For him, bringing the Magma Fairy Palace and Fire Persimmon Immortal City under Meng family's control is the best result. He's indeed at the nascent soul level. A single move shifted the entire situation. I think his real target is the Magma Fairy Palace. By weakening the palace with the red flame demon beast, he acted with righteousness and beyond reproach. After all, even true disciples of the soul-devouring sect have shown up. Is Chibai the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator? It's possible. A true disciple golden core of Chibai's caliber, captured in defeat, is rare. It was Sun Lingtong who did it. He's the black market master and has been operating in Fire Persimmon City for many years. He possesses peak foundation establishment combat power, and most importantly, he comes from the Bukong sect. The Bukong sect is a major evil faction that can rival the soul-devouring sect. Sun Lingtong didn't do much in this battle. The one who truly defeated Chibai was that mechanism cultivator called Youthful Guest. Does this mean that many years ago, the Bukong sect had already been planning in Fire Persimmon City? Soul-devouring sect, Bukong sect. The 4 Golden Core cultivators exchanged messages telepathically, their expressions growing increasingly solemn. The 3 ancestral masters were of great power at the cultivating the void level. The Magma Fairy Palace was their legacy and inheritance, attracting no small amount of powerful factions. Compared to these 2 major evil sects, the Zhou and Zheng families were merely minor forces confined to a small region. "The winds and rain are unstable," sighed one of the Golden Pill ancestors. Our true support lies in the southern bean country. Ha ha ha, Zhuxuanji boldly pointed out Meng Qi's divine abilities and methods in his invitation. As expected of someone from the royal family, he truly understands strategic alliances. Currently, the peak of Fire Persimmon Mountain has been designated a forbidden zone by Meng Qi. Among us, 2 were initially allowed entry into the Immortal Palace, but were directly blocked by Meng Qi. His reasons were impeccable, leaving us no choice but to comply. But this time, Zhuxuanji's reason is equally justifiable: concern for the Magma Fairy Palace and a desire to assist with entry into the palace to ward off invaders. Ha ha ha, how does Meng Qi feel now? He treated us this way, and Zhuxuanji is treating him the same way. The 4 golden core cultivators had a brief discussion and decided to accept the invitation. The golden core cultivators of both families had not ventured into the Immortal Palace in a long time. By leveraging Zhuxuanji to counter Meng Qi, they could also strengthen their ties with the royal family, possibly relying on the royal family to support them against the expanding tentacles of the soul-devouring sect and the Bukong sect in the future. With Meng Qi's intervention and the recent clash between the Bukong sect and the soul-devouring sect, the 4 golden core cultivators felt increased pressure and instinctively sought closer unity, while leaning towards the South Bean royal family. At this moment, within the Magma Fairy Palace, the golden-blooded war ape Dasheng was paving the way ahead for Ningzhuo. The 2 advanced without hindrance. Yuan Dasheng had ascended to the first stage of Wisdom Spirit, greatly increasing his combat power despite his mechanism body's unchanged structure. Ningzhuo had not studied it carefully, but he had gained many insights while cooperating with the golden-blooded war ape Dasheng. Yuan Dasheng's spiritual wisdom still did not match that of an ordinary person. When communicating with Ningzhuo, he was extremely terse, repeating the same phrases again and again. Ningzhuo tried to engage him in conversation, purposefully finding topics, but Yuan Dasheng remained silent. Dasheng, you don't have to call me master every time, do you? Could you change it? Yuan Dasheng immediately shook his head, firmly rejecting. Master must be joking. How could I change the term for my master? This made Ningzhuo thoughtful. He suddenly understood that previously, in aligning with his spiritual nature, he had found a position in Yuan Dasheng's innate perception. To Yuan Dasheng, Ningzhuo had fortuitously risen to the top tier, being recognized as master by Yuan Dasheng. If I hadn't reached the top tier, I might have been perceived as a peer or subordinate in Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature, making it impossible to fully command him. Spiritual wisdom at the wisdom spirit stage has its own set of perceptions that guide all its behaviors. Ningzhuo once again passed the 3 barriers of the Buddhist sect and received rewards. There was nothing to say. They were all illusion true lotus seeds. He claimed 7 in a row and then paused by himself. The prototype of the divine skills originally resembled lotus roots with 3 segments, accompanied by a small shoot and leaf. After absorbing 7 seeds, the shoot fully spread open, forming a lotus leaf the size of an adult's palm. Having made significant progress again, Ningzhuo exited the Buddhist sect, proceeded to the command room, and finally retreated all the way to room number 1. The dragon turtle fire spirit observed the whole process, its face full of confusion. What exactly did Ningzhuo intend to do? The next moment, Ningzhuo fully sensed the Buddha heart demon seal while activating the life-hanging thread. His soul power depleted rapidly as the life-hanging thread suddenly pulled, drawing Sun Lingtong's soul directly in. Sun Lingtong, dragon turtle fire spirit.